Welcome back to my channel. Today, this week, we're going to be doing a what I ate in a week. I'll show you my breakfast once, just so you can see. But other than that, let's get right into our week. For lunch, I want to show you because this has been a staple lately. I have just been addicted to making these breakfast sandwich tofu, but in a wrap. It's like, here's our prepared tofu, okay, before we cook it. So I will pop up the video link to the recipe here. And I also have my homemade wraps. So it's supposed to be naan, but I make them really thin, so it's more like a pita wrap. And they're so good. These are out of the freezer. I made them last week. And we will just fry in our frying pan until they are nice and brown. All right, we are looking perfectly brown and crispy. Now what I'm going to do is put my wraps in here. Like I said, they were in the freezer. They're unthawed now, but I want them to just loosen up and become pliable again. I'll show you as I'm making it, just because my lettuce will cover it. But we have our vegan mayo, and then we have our BioLife vegan cheese, the breakfast sandwich tofu, of course, and then tomatoes and pickles. And then I'm going to do my romaine, and then we'll wrap it up. Dinner is served. Not yet, but we're in the process of making it. All right, so I have just been using this new method, sort of similar to how I normally make my tofu for my Cajun tofu. This time I'm trying to make it flavored for a pasta with, just tomato sauce. So making the tofu crispy, but also like Italian garlic, basil, that type of some poultry, here, let me show you. So pre-oven, here are our tofu bites. I have some nutritional yeast in there, garlic, onion powder. I also used flour, like gluten-free flour, around it to make it crispy. It seems to be more crispy than using cornstarch. So we have our water just about boiling. For our spaghetti, catelli, I always use catelli, and our onions, and then some mushrooms. So we're gonna saute the onions and mushrooms, make the pasta, make the tofu, heat up the sauce, and ta-da! Check back in when we do a taste test. Alrighty, y'all, there is our finished tofu. So I'm just adding it into our hot, I have the onions and mushrooms in here, and the sauce, and the cheese. So I'm just gonna mix it all together, coat it all. Dun, 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 dun. And to drink, I have been obsessed with this Kiju apple grape, whatever juice. It's so freaking good. And the ingredients are just like nice and simple. It's not, like some other juice brands. Anyways, along with some sparkling water, I have an AHA. It is blueberry pomegranate, I believe. So I'm just mixing it like half and half to have like a sparkling juice. Okay, let's give it a try for y'all. My hair. Oh my god, that's delicious. I'm so happy. Now I have a tofu variety to put in my pasta sauce, because I'm always so like, oh, like I don't want to use mock meat all the time. We had meatballs with mock meat with the Impossible like 3 days ago. So welcome back to another day of what I ate. So yesterday, of course, I didn't end up eating anything else. However, today, now breakfast, same thing, cereal. And we're going to be making some Cajun tofu for lunch with some tater tots. So I'll just show you how I'm gonna make my Cajun tofu. It's very similar to our meal yesterday. So we have our tofu here. It was frozen, defrosted. I just squeezed out as much liquid as I could and then ripped it off into chunks. I'm gonna put some olive oil. I think the proper measurement is like 2 tablespoons, but I just kind of drizzle till I think it's good. And then I'm gonna toss it to coat all of the tofu. And these are the tater tots that I always buy, the Canadian tasty taters. And I just pop them in the oven now for 10 minutes before we add our tofu. Next up, we're going to do cornstarch. Again, like 2 to 3 tablespoons. I like to make sure it's evenly coated. So if your tofu is still a bit wet, you probably want to use more. So this is the differing between last night or yesterday, is that I'm using cornstarch instead. And normally I would add salt as well, but it just depends on your seasonings. If there's salt in your seasonings, I would recommend not adding salt. Now we go in with our Cajun seasoning. So it's certified gluten-free. There's no salt in the Cajun, but since I'm so low on it, I'm gonna have to mix it with a blend that has salt in it already. So we're gonna do Cajun, mix it up a little bit. Nutritional yeast, again, like 2 tablespoons. Or you can just sprinkle a little bit if you want. And then because we need a little bit more seasoning, I'm gonna add my Brazilian barbecue as well, certified gluten-free. This one has salt in it, so that's why. I'm probably not gonna need as much of this one, but these are my 2 favorites to use. They are delicious. And again, toss until coated. Add a little bit more to any dry spots you see, but I think we're looking really good. Since our tater tots take 30 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, I had just put them in, so 10 minutes goes by, and then I'm gonna add in our tofu for the last 20 minutes so they can just finish off together. I always do it this way. And we are finished. Like, look at how good this looks. I just put a little salt on our tater tots, ketchup, honey mustard, homemade. Let's go. You know what's excellent with tater tots? Melt down some vegan cheese, drizzle it or dip it, or refried beans. Melt some cheese in there. Just refried beans, or melt the vegan cheese in with the refried beans and dip it. So good. It has been a few hours later, maybe like 5. I think it was like 1 when I ate last, and it's like almost 6 now. I should be making dinner, but instead I'm gonna have a little snack. I am doing some peanut butter and an apple. So I'm just gonna cut it up into some slices and then dip in our peanut butter. Welcome back to dinner time. So I'll show you what we got cooking. Hot water for our rice noodles. I have in here onions and mushrooms, and then I just tossed in the broccoli with some water to steam them. I have fried up some tofu pieces here, so I'm just gonna add them back in. And we can't forget some garlic powder, so I'm just gonna sprinkle this all over. Alrighty, y'all, our broccoli is looking good. I put a little too much water in there, but it's fine. So I'm gonna add in our sauce. So there's soy sauce, water, maple syrup, some onion powder, as you can see on the top, and maple syrup and rice vinegar. So I'm just gonna toss that all in there. Hopefully I don't have any left. Give it a stir and let it keep cooking. Almost forgot I have a little bit of spinach, so I'm gonna dump that in there too. And you remember our boiling water? We have our rice noodles. So I turned it off so that it's not boiling anymore, because it just needs to be, you can even use room temperature water to be honest, but I like to just boil it and then just let it sit here and be hot. I'll use a fork and actually like break these apart better, but this only takes about 2 minutes anyways. Look at this absolute perfection. There's Clay's, here's mine. Only thing we need is some sesame seeds and also some green onion, but I don't have any. Let's eat. Hopefully I'm not about to scald myself. Perfection. So good. Might add a little bit more soy sauce, gluten-free soy sauce. Obviously, to each their own. If you want it saltier, do that. If you don't do that. But this is delicious and I cannot wait to dive in. I wanted to mention something. I'm part of a celiac group on Facebook, and someone was saying that with rice products, like so, from Asian countries, like this one I think is from Thailand, you actually don't have to worry about it being saying gluten-free or anything on it, because they are such a big producer of just like rice and things. They actually don't produce much wheat, so you really don't have to be scared of that. But I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what someone said in the celiac group, and I was like, you know what, this makes me feel better about not saying gluten-free on the bag. Forgot to mention anaha, of course, and what I had yesterday. No juice this time, maybe juice later, but just a sparkling water. And that might be it for today. I will update you later if I end up eating anything else. Well, I have been gifted with a popsicle, so I guess that means I have to eat it. It's a strawberry Del Monte, okay, that's what I was gonna say. Strawberry Del Monte popsicle, basically just fruit and sugar. So that's probably gonna be the last thing that I have for tonight. Welcome back to day 3. It's Wednesday, and today I have a dentist appointment soon. Normally it's like right when I eat lunch, so I'm like, dang it, I have to eat early, so I'm not like super hungry, so I'm just trying to have like a smallish lunch. So again, we're having breakfast sandwich tofu. However, I tried to slice it for sandwiches, but the tofu was so soft today. Sometimes the firm blocks, even after freezing, are still like that, and other times they're like perfect, like more solid. It's weird. And I'm just gonna have a gluten-free piece of toast, and that's gonna be it for lunch, and then let's go to the dentist. Welcome back. You know what, I forgot to tell y'all that I had cereal again for breakfast. So yes, I just started it right off with lunch. After the dentist, I was actually hungry, but they put this fluoride shit, like I tried to rinse it out because I did not like it, on my teeth, and so I didn't want to eat. I've just been drinking hot water. Dinner time is here, so I'll show you what we have. I have made enough so that both Clay and I can have lunch for tomorrow, because I will be going to work tomorrow. Let's get into our meal. Basmati rice. So I put some roasted garlic and peppers in here, just for, I don't know, for funsies, for looks, and a little bit of salt when I cooked it. I have some frozen corn that I just boiled. It also has the roasted garlic and peppers in it, just for funsies. And then we have our soy curls. I put some spinach in there, and then a BH1 sauce, which is garlic, something like that. Oh, it's sweet. And then we have carrots and cauliflower steamed. So that is what we're having for dinner today. Okay, I forgot to tell y'all because I didn't show you when I was eating, but I have an aha, of course. We love sparkling water in this house. This one is orange grapefruit. Delicious. Welcome back. I forgot to do an intro this morning, but it is day 4. Same thing, cereal this morning. As you can see, I'll put in my clips from work. So I had some up and apple fritter before we opened, and it was so freaking good. When they're fresh, they're the best. And then for lunch, I told you last night that's what I was gonna be eating, so it's the same thing: rice, soy curls, carrots, corn. I have some other things that I'm gonna eat later, but right now I'm starving and I have to make supper, so I'm gonna just have a little snack of some veggie chips. I just grabbed them from the store, so I'm gonna snack on these while I prepare our dinner. Alrighty, y'all. Oh, a little steamy. So our Marry Me tofu was what I decided to make tonight. Well, what we decided. So we have our basmati rice here, and then I have our Marry Me tofu. So the recipe I do have on my channel, I'll link it here and in the description, but I also add cauliflower and some spinach into it. One of my absolute favorite meals, and it's so easy. We used to make it once a week, every single week for like months, and we haven't had it in a few weeks now, so I'm super excited. I'm going to dig in, and this is gonna be my lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna be excited. And our supper is finished. So what we have, I brought home from work, a cupcake, chocolate cupcake with caramel frosting. Yes, delicious. And then we have a chocolate donut hole. All right, this one I believe was like strawberry chocolate or something like that for Valentine's Day. Yeah, actually it's pretty good. I'm not a big fan of strawberries and chocolate in general, and this one I think was like a strawberry shortcake. Very nice. Oh, and I forgot to mention, of course, drinking up an aha blueberry pomegranate one once again. I'm probably not gonna have anything else today because I'm so stuffed. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Welcome back to day 5 of our what I ate in a week. It is Friday, and I showed you, oh, same thing, of course, cereal for breakfast. I had some crackers again for a snack at work, and I also showed you me eating, yeah, you saw that, lunch, my leftovers, of course, and now I got home and I was just famished, so again, and I promise, I know I'm wearing like the same thing as yesterday, but I promise it is the next day. My veggie straws, for some reason they're just like so addicting to me right now that I'm just like got this like weird hyperfixation with them because I bought another bag today. Anyways, tonight's meal, I am making a vegan gluten-free hamburger helper using Impossible meat, and you know what, a pasta that I really like, I usually use Catelli, but the Barilla gluten-free pasta is so good. It's so good. So I'm gonna be using that in our dinner today. Alrighty, y'all, our hamburger helper is ready. Doesn't it look delicious? And then I also made a little garlic toast, gluten-free for myself. Let's give it a taste. So I used Sweet Simple Vegan's recipe, but then I added some extra stuff. So good. Delicious. And how can I forget my evening again, the blueberry pomegranate. And that's probably gonna be it for tonight, so I'll let you know if I have anything else, but I will see you tomorrow. Welcome back to day 6, Saturday, and it's lunchtime. Of course, I had cereal again this morning, but for lunch we were having not Cajun because I forgot to get more, but the Brazilian barbecue tofu done the same way, and then smile fries and some ketchup and mayo, and I still have leftover honey mustard, so we're gonna dip that. All right, I decided I needed a little juice, so my Kiju grape apple juice, delicious. Also my new obsession lately. We are back and we wanted a little treat, so I decided to make some peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. Kind of played with the recipe a little bit. They look pretty good. So last time I made these, I think they were so tasty, but they kind of like were almost, I'm trying to think of what they are. They're almost flaky, like melt in your mouth, kind of crumble. You know what I mean? Like when you take a bite, just kind of melts in your mouth, kind of like a butter cookie or something like that. So I think that most recipes use regular like Skippy peanut butter, which has sugar in it, it's not oily. And I always use natural. So sometimes I have to like play with the recipe, and I used some peanut butter from the bottom of the jar, which had like no oil in it. So I had to add a little bit of milk just to make it like good enough. So I'm not sure if they're gonna be like dry. And I also added an extra quarter cup of peanut butter, and it still needed the milk, so it was a little bit weird, but let's break one open and see. Let's pick a nice chocolatey one. So the edges are nice and brown. This is fully, they're so fast. They're soft. I mean, they did just come out of the oven like 10 minutes ago, but oh, those look so good. And I'm also starving. I'm making dinner right now. I have some potatoes, russet potatoes in the oven baking, and we're gonna do asparagus, some corn there, and some breakfast sandwich tofu. I'm just gonna put it on top of the potatoes. But let's try one of our cookies. They look, oh, the chocolate. Now, I was supposed to roll it in cane sugar, but I thought, screw it. Let's see how they are without the extra sugar around, because I feel like they're sweet enough. So good. Okay, I'll see you when supper is done. And just like that, dinner is served. Our baked potatoes with some vegan butter, salt, pepper, breakfast sandwich tofu, steamed asparagus, corn. Delicious. I can't wait. This is one of my favorite meals when I'm kind of lazy, like just a baked potato, breakfast sandwich, some veggies. Easy. Welcome back to the final day, Sunday. I originally wasn't sure if I was going to do just Monday to Friday or show you guys the weekend, but Clay convinced me just do the weekend too, because sometimes we get wild, sometimes we make crazy things. or eat like really crappy. So it is day 7 and it is a snowstorm out there. If you live in Ontario, Southern Ontario at least, you'll be in that snowstorm today. Honestly, being from Alberta, it's like not that bad. Like we had worse a couple weeks ago, but it's also the middle of the afternoon, so we'll see how this ends up later. It is lunchtime. I had my cereal this morning like usual. Last night I didn't end up showing you, but I had my blueberry pomegranate aha with my dinner, of course, like usual. And today for lunch we are going to have an egg sandwich. We have our just egg patty there cooking. It looks like there's like so much oil in there, but honestly these stick. The liquid sticks worse, but they stick pretty bad. But I also have oh my gosh, leftovers. So there's a little bit. I was gonna do the potatoes and then like cut them up and then fry them and then have these two, but then I was like, well, egg I'd rather have like on bread. So I'm just gonna heat up the breakfast sandwich tofu part with the egg and then put the egg on some gluten-free bread that I had in the freezer. I don't know, maybe I'll use both of these. This is a butt end, so I might just use the one piece and then have like a very eggy sandwich. So I just dumped some bio-rice cheese on there and it just dumped half of it into, way too much first of all, and then half of it into the pan, so that's nice. And I'm just leaving the pan on and putting my my frozen bread in the pan to toast it instead of the oven or a toaster. Bread is done. I may have burnt it. No, I didn't. If you think I did, I did not. This is how we're going to be eating it. I tried to put a couple on top, but honestly, they're probably just gonna fall off. So this is Sunday, you know? Just eating up them leftovers, mixing some weird things together, calling it lunch. Alright, y'all know I'm addicted to this freaking apple grape juice, so I'm going to have some now. And what I'm going to do, I'm out of my blueberry pomegranate, so I have peach and honey. I don't think there's any real honey in there, but anyways. Oh my god. I'm trying to look through the camera and not look through the camera at the same time. It's not great, but it's still a sparkling juice and it does the trick. And I also am probably going to eat my last peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. Not with the juice, it's going to be weird, so I'll eat it after. And I might just make the last of the cookie dough also, because football's about to start and we might need a cookie, so we'll see you later. No cookie yet, I still have to make some. However, I'm gonna have a couple hey!
I'm not sharing these with you.
Anyways, kettle chips, salt and vinegar. I always like to buy chips that say gluten-free on them, or like certified gluten-free. These are a salt and vinegar chip that do not have dairy. There are brands out there that have dairy in them. Beware. Alright, these are the ones I was talking about. Texas barbecue. They're also the same brand. Kettle. These are really good too. They kind of get a little spicy after you eat a few, but delicious. I hope they're not stale. They're not, but like after eating the freshly opened ones, you can tell there's a little something different, you know? But they're not like real stale. I don't know if it was because it was the last of the dough, but it is a little bit drier. You know how you use my hand to like squish it together, but they still taste really good. So if you leave them, go make them ahead of time and leave them overnight. It'll work really good. I was craving like a whole breakfast kind of plate. These are the leftover Brazilian barbecue, but I have more Cajun in the oven in case this wasn't enough, because that was all it was. Tater tots, gluten-free pancakes, of course vegan everything, maple syrup, vegan butter. Bam! Alrighty, y'all, our Cajun tofu is done. I still have some of my honey mustard, so we're gonna eat some of this as well. That will be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration or ideas of what you could eat if you're struggling being plant-based and gluten-free, or just gluten-free. A lot of my recipes and things that I make could easily be altered, you know, for if you eat meat or whatever. I have left all of my recipes that I have made in this week in my description, and then I've tagged them throughout as well if you didn't notice. So go ahead and check out my other recipe videos if you want to know how I made some of what I made that I didn't fully show you. All right, I'm done. Bye!